Hello to all of my friends in the Episcopal Diocese of Northwestern Pennsylvania and Western New York. A special hello to your bishop, my friend and brother, Bishop Sean Rowe. I am so grateful to you, to him, for the work that you are doing for this experiment in the gospel of these two dioceses working together for the cause of Jesus Christ in this world and his way of love, and making a profound and real difference that the gospel actually makes. And I thank you for both the willingness and the work, the hard work of engaging in this experiment, not for your sakes, but for the sake of him who died for us and rose again. So thank you, and thank God for you. Well, I also want to thank Clarion University and Professor Joseph Krosky, who has really been working with you, working on this Juneteenth work for a number of years. But as a faithful Episcopalian, wanted to do it in collaboration with these two remarkable dioceses. I want to thank him and thank all of you for this opportunity and occasion and observance of Juneteenth. I was trying to remember when I first learned about Juneteenth, and I'm pretty sure I was probably either in junior high or high school. And it was introduced to us as something new, which I don't think we had heard of before. You may not realize it, but in the 1960s, Black history was not something that was taught in schools. And while there were a few references to slavery and the like in our various history and social studies textbooks, the history of peoples of color, whether they were of African descent or the indigenous peoples of the land, or Asians during the immigrations or the waves of others who have come to this country, those stories really were not part of the story of the history of this country and of this land. And Juneteenth was one of the stories that was not really told to us. The story of Juneteenth is that the Emancipation Proclamation issued by Abe Lincoln on January the 1st didn't actually get to slaves in Texas until June. And Juneteenth being the name for the date and the occasion when slaves heard the news. And while there's some truth that the distances and the progression of the Civil War at the time certainly impeded that news getting from Washington to Texas, there were such things as telegraphs in those days. There were trains. There were newspapers. And so the word could have gotten to the slaves, but it deliberately didn't. Those who held slaves in Texas had no particular interest in the word of the Emancipation Proclamation filtering down to where the slaves actually lived. What was true in Texas was true here in North Carolina and in Georgia and Alabama and Mississippi and on and on and on. And so the story of Juneteenth is the story of the slow advent and traveling of the truth. That was true with the history of slavery in terms of our studies. We have been blessed with the 1619 Project, which is helping to unearth many of those painful truths and helping us to learn from them. And while there are many who resist this, it's important for us all. And that may be one of the lessons of Juneteenth. When I was a kid growing up at St. Philip's, Buffalo, I remember I learned the words of James Weldon Johnson's poem that his brother set to music. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicings rise high as the listening skies. Let them resound loud as the rolling sea. And then the song, which was composed, if you will, as an anthem of celebration and affirmation. It was often referred to as the Negro National Anthem and sung on various occasions of celebration and community gathering. And we were taught this as children in church. But the verse, "Lift every voice and sing," concludes, "Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun, let us march on till victory is won." Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. The truth is, we can't change the past, but we can redeem it. We can't change it, but we can redeem it by creating a new future. The path to creating a new future is to face the dark past, to learn from it, not to wallow in it, but to learn what the dark past has taught us, to learn the lessons of the past, the good, the bad, and the ugly. To learn. But you got to tell the truth. You got to tell the story. And then learn from it, not to wallow in it, not to beat each other up in it, but to learn from it. And then having learned, to then turn toward the rising sun, as the song says, to turn toward a new future. To turn and then join hands together to repair the breaches of the past, to right the wrongs of the past, and together, folk of all stripes and types, descendants of former slave owners and descendants of former slaves, descendants of those who immigrated, descendants of indigenous peoples, descendants of whoever is here in this land, to join hands together, having told the truth, learned from the past, turn from it, and build new structures of relationships and systems that enhance life for us all. And then to always remember and to rededicate and to reconsecrate ourselves and our lives to the new future. That is the lesson of Juneteenth for me. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. God love you. God bless you. And have a great conference.